Hi YouTube, I'm back. After a little hiatus, I'm back. I was not feeling good at all last week. It was so bad. I did not leave my sofa. My stomach was not in a good place. So I just don't ever want to force something and then it'd be like a horrible video and then also struggling to edit it. Like, no. So I asked you guys on Instagram what kind of things you wanted to see. And there are so many great ideas and there are definitely videos I'm gonna do in the future. But there was nothing that I was feeling for this week. And so I was looking at my calendar and I'm like, what am I doing that I can bring them along with me or include YouTube in it and then try to figure it out. And I was looking at my calendar and I saw that I had a call with Alexia. Alexia is my spiritual guide, spiritual channeler. She's intuitive. She has psychic abilities. I don't even know how to explain her. I don't know how to explain what she does, but she's incredible. And I've been working with her for like 4 years now, which is a long time. And I used to see her like weekly. And then I would see her, and then she cut me off. And then I started seeing her every 2 weeks. And then I had to start seeing her every week again because there was stuff going on in my life. And then she cut me off again. And then I was seeing her once a month. And that's kind of where we're at now. Because she's not a therapist in the traditional sense. And she's very much like, I don't want you to be dependent on me. I don't want you to need me. I want to give you the tools so that you are able to deal with life on your own in the best way possible and manifest and co-create and have the life that you want with the tools that I'm helping you have. And so we've had to work on a lot of tools. We've had to work on a lot of tools during the years. My big one has been compassion. The tool of compassion is a big one that I've struggled with. And yeah. So just tell you guys about like my spiritual journey. I went to a Catholic school my entire life, all-girl Catholic school. Grew up in a identifying as Catholic household, but not necessarily practicing it, in the sense that my mom is not an institutional Catholic. She's gonna get defensive when she hears this, and I'm gonna be getting a call within the minute, but it's true. She doesn't go to mass every Sunday, and she doesn't do confession. She's always told me she doesn't believe in confession because she thinks she has a direct line to God. She doesn't know why she has to talk to a man and for him to tell her what to do. Like, she knows what she's doing. So some would say not an institutional Catholic. And I grew up in a very tolerant household, so that's not, really congruent with the institution the Catholic Church has become. I have never understood why the Catholic Church is the way that it is in today's world. It's never made any sense. I'm always like, have people read the Bible? Because if Jesus came down to this earth right now, he would be appalled at the way the Catholic Church is treating people. And I don't know how people don't see that. But anyways, Catholic school my entire life. Love Jesus, love the idea of God. I'm a fan. I get lost when it comes to the teachings in the sense of the ones that the church has embraced that are, not ones that I would associate with Jesus. But I take the positive stuff of the church. So the non-judging people, the embracing the fact that we're human and we have sins, the trying to be good people, all those good stuff. What would Jesus do? Be kind. Those things, the good stuff of the church that I love. In college, I also studied theology. I was a theology and political science double major, and I loved it. I loved being able to analyze the teachings of the church and religion in general and the institutions and the way that religion and politics are so intertwined, unfortunately, and just all those things. It was really fun. I loved it. And in my personal life, once again, my mom, who claims to be super Catholic, that woman brought a Ouija board into the house when I was in 8th grade and also let me have my first tarot card reading when I was in 8th grade. And I loved it. I loved it. I just totally loved it. Ouija, wouldn't recommend. Don't do it. Don't do it. Don't do the Ouija board, okay? Anyone who knew me at that time, particularly if you went to school with me, dark times. Dark Ouija board stories. If you guys want me to tell you some scary shit, I could do a YouTube video on that or talk more about it, but bad. So don't do the Ouija board. But I love the tarot card reading. I was obsessed. He was amazing. I still remember that reading, obviously, to this day. And then throughout high school, I think I went to a psychic once, right before my 16th or 17th birthday. Loved her. I'm pretty sure she was a santera. And then in college, I started going to a santera. Remember, like, I'm Cuban from Miami, like, okay? But it was not black magic, no bad vibes, no sending bad energy to people, none of that stuff. Like, very, very good. And I loved it. But I was a little too dependent on my santera. Like, I would call her for everything, and I'd be like, tell me what's gonna happen. Tell me my future. And because she was psychic, and we would do tarot cards, and she was really good. She was in such an incredible santera. I just became a little too dependent on her. So, that wasn't great. I was going through a lot of different things, and I've just always believed in the other. I've always believed in, I don't know, the power of spirituality. I've always believed in angels. I've always in my ancestors and in all that stuff. I've had dreams with some people who have passed, and I also have some psychic dreams which go crazy. Wild. Like, I've started to call my mom, and I'm like, I just want this on the record, because although this dream seems crazy and you would think that's never gonna happen, it's on the record. And then months later, that thing will happen, and I have my mother to confirm that I did in fact dream it. Okay? And it's things that you wouldn't expect. It's fun. And yeah, so I've always just loved it. I've always loved saints. I've always connected to it. I've always loved being in a physical church. I don't love the institution. I don't love mass. Sorry, I don't. But I've loved the physical space of a church and doing the Stations of the Cross and all that stuff. I don't know, just always connected to it. And then I was living in London, and I was going through a lot at the time. It was a crazy summer. Let's just say I had a boyfriend for 3 weeks. Him and I had never been on a date before we got into an exclusive relationship. And then he broke up with me 3 weeks later and got back with his ex, and now they're married. But that's a story for another day. And whatever, I was just like in a weird place, and I was grabbing dinner with a friend, and she goes, I just did this like insane past life reading with this girl named Alexia. She's amazing. And I'm like, oh my God, I'm super into all that stuff. Like, I'm down. She was like, well, she's really hard. She has so many people that she deals with, but like, I'll hook you up. And I was like, please. And then my friend did hook me up, and then I had my first session with Alexia. And to say it was life-changing sounds dramatic, and I get that, but it really was. Because Alexia is amazing. She called me out on so much shit. She gave me hard truth. And I'm someone who likes to hear that stuff. I'm someone who accepts the fact that I'm human, and that I make mistakes, and that I'm not perfect, and that life isn't perfect, and that we all have things to improve on, and things aren't always the way we think they are. So it's helpful to work with her and kind of be given that truth. And she also has these psychic abilities that she can be like, I see this happening, or I see this happening. She embraces that we have free will, and that I ultimately decide my future, and timelines change and things change all the time, and we have choice in this life. So that's something that makes working with her so great, that I never feel constrained by this determined aspect of life. She's like, no, you can decide what you want. And she's helped me lean into my intuition and learn how to make choices based on what I feel is right in my life, and listen to myself and have boundaries and work on things like compassion and patience and understanding and yeah, and self-love. Self-love's been a big one. And I think if you've followed me for a long time, you know that I'm someone who is a very confident person. I am, always have been. That doesn't mean I lack insecurities, and that doesn't mean that I'm perfect at this aspect of self-love. Like, self-love is deep. It's not just saying, I know I'm fun, I know I'm cool, I think I'm pretty. No. Like, self-love is so, so deep. And I was judging myself for a long time, and I've worked on that, and I'm continuing to work on that. And so I'm having a session with her today, and since she's cut me off, I don't need that much like therapy in the sense of working on toxic behaviors or patterns or trying to help myself co-create better or manifest better. right now. So I want today's session to be like a fun, like past life session. We'll see if the guides let us, because she has guides who like speak through her and she channels things. And I'll have her talk a little bit about it. I'm gonna, like, I do the sessions on my phone. That will never change. So I'll just kind of like flip the camera to her and have her talk for a little bit. And yeah, the sessions with her are amazing. I'm really excited for today's session. I'll probably need more like a therapy session in the next month or so, because there's always things I can improve on and life is always teaching you new lessons. But this month I'm feeling pretty good about everything. I've recommended her to so many friends and family members, and so many people that work with her love her. She works with a lot of like A-list people, like she's cool like that. I know Lily Reinhart has spoken out about the fact that she's worked with her. So, you know, we vibe. Alexia's the best and she's super cool. And you guys should check her Instagram out, because she's young and fun and cool and relatable. And every time I see a post of hers, it feels like I just took a deep breath. Like she like brings me back to life. And yeah, she just leans into energies and what the vibe of the month is, and you know, asking you to self-reflect. And she also does Q&As on Thursday, so if you have like questions for her, because she can be more expensive to do sessions with, but if you have like Q&As and stuff, you can do that. And you can check out her website to see what other things she offers. But she's the best. So I need to call her right now. I'm calling her right now. Hey, you can't hear me. I'm filming for YouTube right now.
I love it. Hi.
Yeah, say hi. Do you want to tell YouTube who you are?
Well, I'm Alexia Landa. I'm a channeler and spiritual mentor. I've been honored to work with Vero for the past 4 years.
I know, crazy.
believe. Yes, so crazy. It feels like yesterday. My way of working is understanding that we do have free will, and that spirituality can look in many different ways, because you're just a spiritual being having an experience on earth. So I focus a lot on freedom and authenticity and being unapologetic. You can just be you. You can connect to co-creation, which is you create every single day the goal, instead of like being obsessive or like feeling like you're lacking something. You have everything within, so we activate whatever's within. Yeah, so excited for today's session too.
I know. What are we doing today? Past lives?
Past lives. We're focusing on past lives. We're focusing on love.
Yeah.
For sure. So I'm just excited. I know, I already see, but I'm excited for you to see it and you witness it. Very excited.
I'm excited, and you're going to be super proud of me, because when I was telling YouTube about who you were and the kind of work we do, I was like, free will is important. Free will is the main thing. So you can tell I've been doing this for a long time. Okay, see you guys soon, and I'll tell you how it went. Well, that was an interesting session. It was a rushed one, because we thought we were only going to do past lives. And then she asked me like a question about other stuff, and I was like, oh, by the way, and then she was like, oh, we need to talk about that, blah, blah, blah. And we didn't get into the past life stuff until literally the last 10 minutes. And there was so much stuff to discuss there. And then we were at the end like, she's like, I gotta go. I'm like, so it was a great session though. We got a lot done. We moved a lot of energy. The past life stuff was really cutesies, really validating. I love a past life. Oh, I had so many fun past life sessions with Alexia that I'm like, hell yeah. Like, hell yeah. Some ones that I'm like, oh no, that one's not good. But it's such a fun feeling. And you get a lot of healing done. If you do like a really deep past life session, I've done a lot of healing. But I have some homework to do. Let's see. See if there's anything I can share. I'm gonna be very careful once again, evil eye. Like, I think one interesting thing we were talking about that I think a lot of people can relate to is this idea of self-comparison. And I'm someone who doesn't really do that in general. Like, it's not something in general that I've struggled with, like comparing myself to my friends, or I don't know, like even as a student, like I was like, oh, she's so much smarter than me, or XYZ. I've never done that, but I'm starting to do it now in this influencer era, because you go online and you see so many influencers, and it becomes so easy to just compare yourself or get ideas from them, but then the ideas you're not executing because you're not being yourself in that idea, and like all these different things. So we were talking about the fact that you shouldn't ever compare yourself, obviously, but it's about redirecting that comparison, and instead of focusing on what other people are doing and how they're getting to their goals, it's me focusing on my overarching goal. Not my goal for right now, not my goal for this month, like my overarching goal. And me getting up to film and me coming up with my YouTube videos and me thinking about what I want to do, that's me co-creating that main goal. So I need to be careful what I'm looking at. Like, I'm a horse in a race. I shouldn't be looking to see what the other horses are doing. I need to be straight ahead. So that was an interesting conversation we had. I have some homework to do there. Yeah, and I think just like general like self-value in my new career path and seeing worth in what I'm doing, and I think everyone needs to see that in themselves. And it was a good conversation we had about it, of like, I don't feel like I'm being mean to myself. But then when we're talking about the kind of patterns that I'm having, and I'm being harsh on like a video not performing well, or the way I edited it, or the fact that I filmed it in the wrong lighting and I should have known that was a bad position to do it in. Like, that's me being mean to myself, you know? I mean, I could be being worse, obviously. Like, there's a lot of mean shit that people say to themselves. But still, it's not great. That's not the energy I should be putting into me and my co-creating that main goal of mine. That's pretty much it in terms of things that I'm willing to share on the internet. But yeah, I have a lot of homework to do, and just kind of like getting my energy and my thoughts and redirecting that mindset and getting it onto paper is something that's always really important to me, and I notice such a difference. But I'm gonna take a bath, I'm gonna relax. The energy can feel quite heightened, especially we had like so much we were talking about that I need to chill for a second. Maybe I'll have dinner and then do all the homework after dinner. So yeah, I'm sure there's like so much to talk about in this topic, and I'm sure people are gonna have questions or thoughts or whatever it may be. So feel free to DM me or comment on this video. If you want me to talk more about it, let me know. I probably will. Realistically speaking, it's such a big part of my life. Yeah, I hope you enjoyed this little sit down chat. My favorite place, me sitting on my sofa in my pajamas yapping like goals. So we'll see what video I do next week. Next week will be, I'm leaving to Miami the following week. So I'm gonna have to go get my nails done again. I'm gonna have to get my brows done. I'm gonna have to pack, even though I'm not packing that much clothes because I have all my warm clothes in Miami. Yeah, it's gonna be a fun little week, so I'll bring you guys along with me. Lots to look forward to, so much energy, wow. Anyways, like, comment, subscribe, do your thing, and I'll see you next week.